Alright, this is a video for Patreon. We've got a couple videos where you're able to learn to feel and sense energy. This is really important because we have to develop our nervous system so that over time we can sense energy stronger, better. We widen our nerves. You literally are working with your fibers to make it so your body can handle, produce, and work with larger and larger amounts of energy. Now, energy holds information. So, just like radio waves, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. So light is also a form of the electromagnetic spectrum. Light waves are also emitted from everything electromagnetic because all electrons also emit. We get that with solar. It transitions from light to energy, and we can change the energy back into light. Similar thing. So we've really got to work on feeling the energy, working on our nervous system, building that up. It takes time of daily practice. Now you also have to do daily practice of working with your imagination. You have to strain your brain almost to visualize stuff. Now in order to get more and more energy to visualize better and clearer, because what we do know is that when you do mental work, it actually takes a lot of energy. A lot of chemicals are firing, a lot of stuff's going on. You can have master chess players, and they will literally burn thousands of calories within a game just through the mental activity. So we need to have the energy supply in order to allow us to build as quickly and as effectively of new neural pathways as we would like to. So make sure you're eating alkaline foods, staying healthy, working out. Muscles are piezoelectric. You've got to do some meditation. Meditation is for building those mental images, but you almost want to prep the meditation. It's this whole process. You want to prep the body so you've got the energy, then you do the meditation, and meditation is prepping you for the intuition works, because you've got to develop your control panel, essentially. Once you have a control panel, once you've got your mind developed, then that opens up all kinds of other doors. Once you can form clear images in your mind when you close your eyes and actually see them and focus, then you can start filtering energy into form, which is all that. And you can also start reading the fields of the information around you, where we start to sense with our hands, and then we're able to read the field. So you've got to feel it, you've got to do the meditation work. A lot of this, we do a lot of heart work as well, because a lot of our chakra centers are little minds of their own. They've got their own intention and wants and needs. And so we've got to learn to align them all so they're not working against each other, but they all work together in harmony with higher efficiency and with greater conductivity. So one thing we do with the heart work is we really got to make sure that we can generate love, because everything's electromagnetic. Love is energy and it's power. Love is very coherent power. It's not all like hate and love, or hate and fear, and it just gets all messy and gross, and you lose a lot of energy, and it's a very self-destructive thing, because it's trying to just reset and so that it can start over. But we don't want to start over, we want to build. So you've got to eat healthy, meditate. We do heart meditations focusing on compassion, because your heart is smart. Your heart is very intuitive. There's a lot of studies that have shown that they will hook people up and show them a random image, and the people's heart will react to the image 3 to 5 seconds before the image would be chosen at random. And this is one way that we can tap into and open up our intuitive abilities. So there's so many skills we've got to learn. We've got to learn to build better habits. We've got to learn to, eat healthy, learn to exercise, get our muscles generating energy, fix our subtler bodies, which is more connected with our etheric organ systems, which is the exercise. If you do daily exercise and you really get sore and you feel like you're making work and effort, you're going to your burnout point, you're really building up your whole system and making all of these next steps much easier. So visualize. Let's show you one practice. Is if you close your eyes, just for basic visualization, the kind of thing that we're looking for because you can form images in the back of your mind and just like know about them but not see them, and that works as well. But in order to get to the really high level stuff, you've got to be able to produce those images in front of you and in focus with coherent light. Now, because these light waves will send out from your body, you will emit light in electromagnetic form, and it will start to affect the world around you. So we've got to be careful about what our thoughts are as well, because all of your thoughts are constantly trying to manifest in the world. You're constantly emitting photons, you're sending out energy. So for this practice, we'll just imagine, a line directly across. You close your eyes and you imagine just a line of light. Seems like the easiest thing to just get, coherent light, and then just start rotating that line and spinning it around and just focus on it. Now you can spin it to the left, spin it to the right. Working with this is really working on your brain's tonic activity. So you're developing mental strength. You're working out your brain. And so you can, if you get good and you start to be able to, shrink the line, grow it. If you put a second line and you start having them next to each other, one here and they spin maybe opposite directions or the same direction, this really works out your brain as well. We're working on creating visual images. You have to practice, you've got to put in the time. And you will do it. All of this is very scientific. It just takes work and effort. So do the line rotation, make sure you're eating well, all that other good stuff. And when you finish with that, if you start feeling like, oh, this line is too simple, I'm moving it up and down and widening it and making it narrow and just doing all the manipulations you can. You've got 2 different lines, they're spinning. Start doing this with your eyes open. If you can create the line of light, sometimes you could defocus. We can go into other cool stuff with eyes open, kind of works later. But for now, just with your eyes open, try to see that line, rotate it, even do numbers. Count from 1 to 10. Put the 1 with your eyes open, erase it, 2, eyes open, erase it, 3, erase it, 4. Count to 10 and then go backwards, making these images as clear and as well defined as you can. A lot of these practices can actually be done for like several weeks, because really in order to start getting to higher and higher level things, you have to master smaller, easier practices. You've got to be able to feel the energy consistently. You've got to start developing your nervous system, feeling your hand go across your chest, feeling it go down your arm, feeling that energy tingle and cause heat and cause a magnetic kind of flux. And then you've got to be able to visualize clearly. You've got to be able to start forming these mental images. Once you start to get those 2, you can put them together, and then we can start doing cooler, funner practices, which really build on each other and add to much higher level abilities, because all supernatural abilities come from the mind. Everything is mind stuff. Everything is energy, information, and consciousness as one. So you've got all these invisible forces which create all of the visible matter that we see. So we've got to learn to work with the subtle and the invisible so that we can affect the visible. Because we are in the 3rd dimension. We are in at least, 10 dimensions, but we're only aware of 3. So if the greater existence of 7 dimensions above us is invisible, it's mostly energetic. We are in the physical aspect, and that also tells us, and what we hear from other masters, is that we are a reflection of the higher forces. So in order to make changes in the lower shadow of the world, which is us, then you need to make the changes above. And how we access above and all the spiritual, non-physical, energetic-based things is all mental. Everything is mental. So you've got to be able to form clear images, feel energy, start detecting your environment, and then you can start putting them together, working with intuition exercises of various kinds. But really, the initial start, it's really best if you build your energy. And for a lot of people, they can't seem to build their energy because they'll do like an hour of meditation or something, and then later they'll go and they'll end up getting all pissed off, or they'll have like a bad day and they'll fight with people or something, and this wastes a lot of energy. Or they'll eat really poorly and your digestion will require so much energy to work through that food, and maybe that food was acidic in the end, so you ended up losing, you know, a little bit of energy. You know, you got some materials but you lost a little bit of energy. You know, like alcohol, super acidic, so it'll put your body in a state of metabolic acidosis, where it'll start breaking down your bones for the calcium in your bones, very alkaline, and it'll start breaking down your muscles and getting ammonia from your muscles, which is also very alkaline. So your body's always going to try to maintain, you know, at least it's going to try to stay out of the acidic level, because acid is a lack of electricity, where you've got a vacuum and it's sucking in electrons rather than being a battery and providing electrons. So one of the first things we've all got to focus on is, before we even get too deep in everything, is eating well, getting good sleep, trying to figure out a meditation practice, you know, feeling energy, and developing the visualization. It takes a little bit of time. There are styles of like boot camp kind of really get you going in those, get all those phosphines and what have you going. It's like when you stand up really quickly and you can see light shoot up behind your eyes, or when you're doing some third eye practices and, you know, you can start to see images come together and separate and light starting to shine out. It's like learning to perceive subtler things. Well, we'll get into auras later, because that's a fun one too. But yeah, that'll be all for this video. Quick tips: eat healthy, all that good stuff. Do the line rotation with your eyes closed. Count from 1 to 10 with your eyes closed. Make them as visual as you can. If you get really good at that, try it with your eyes open, but honestly, that's pretty high level skills. Focus on colors. Those are also a little higher than I realized. There's better, simpler ways to start out, to really have people take small baby steps to work all the way up. But every single practice is very valid, and if you keep doing it, you will get results. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Blessings to you.